What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome on back to Dragon Age Inquisition. As always, if you're new here or haven't yet, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and of course, if you want to catch up on the rest of the Let's Play so far, go ahead and check the description below. I'll have the whole series down there in order for everybody. So our war table missions should be done that we set going before. We'll start with Power for a Price. Formal document with impeccable filigree. The Inquisition is a sight to behold, a command of legions, hearts, and minds. It is worthy, your Inquisitor is worthy, and my masters are pleased. I will bring my wares, and together we will extend your reach ever further. Now you trade not just in treasures, but in will. The esteemed Faris, the representative. Who knows who he actually represents? Did we have anything on the All Legion side of things? We did. We set the mission goal to locate Reese and Evangeline for Cole. Inquisitor. Reese and I owe you both our freedom and our lives. I once wished that Reese and I had been able to attend the conclave in hopes that our voices might lead to a peaceful resolution to this mad war. After hearing about the destruction of the Temple of Sacred Ashes, though, we might only have died with the rest. The Templars I tracked, and subsequently fell to, were using a strange red form of lyrium I had never previously encountered. The Inquisition troops who rescued us tell us that you found the same lyrium at Theronfall Redoubt and saved the Templars from corruption. For this, I thank you. While I left the Templars as an organization, I always believed in the ideals for which they stood, and I hope that they serve you well against this Corypheus. Reese and I must recover from our wounds, and our presence at Skyhold will only cause tension with the Templars, many of whom still see me as a traitor. Nevertheless, once we are healed, we would be honored to serve the Inquisition. Yours, Evangeline, Knight Commander. There is a note below, presumably added by Cole. I asked you not to do this. I was upset until it saved them. This is good. So Evangeline is a Knight Commander. So it was a Knight Commander and a single mage charge, which would be Reese. That's so interesting. And the Lord Seeker got into a confrontation with them. So my name is Sister Paulette. My sisters and I have been accompanying a handful of injured Inquisition soldiers through the Frostbecks. As they are no longer able to fight for the Inquisition, they wish to return to their families in Ferelden. These are strange times, and many seek the solace, or forgiveness, of loved ones. Unfortunately, that peace may never come. A band of Avar, refusing to see reason, have pinned us down. We have taken refuge in a camp and are holding them off as best we can, but I do not know how long we can last. I understand this bird has trained to return to Skyhold. I pray it is so. We need aid. A note in Cullen's hand follows. Soldiers dispatched from Skyhold itself will not reach them in time. We should have men near their location. We sent a party to pursue a group of Red Templars we suspect of moving captured civilians to one of their Red Lyrium mines. A swift bird might reach the party, allowing them to go to the Sisters' aid. However, we would likely lose the Templars' trail. And Cullen's take on this would be, no one wants to make this call, but if the Red Templars were to escape, more people will be harmed. Our soldiers would understand. And Josephine's take is these soldiers are still our allies. They've done their part. We cannot abandon them. This is actually a pretty good moral quandary here. Were it not for the civilians the Red Templars have captured and are currently taken off to a Red Lyrium mine, it would be a very simple answer for me. The answer would just be to let the Templars go, catch up with the mine later, and then save our soldiers. However, the fact that they have a bunch of civilians captives and they're taking them to the Red Lyrium mines, not only is that taking civilians and hostages as slave labor, but I'm sure they'll also be corrupted and eventually conned into Corypheus's army, right? And that will all feed his war machine. If we track them, we get to the Lyrium mine, we save the civilians, and we take a chunk out of Corypheus's army. I think in the grand scheme of things, the tough reality of this decision is that the civilians aren't involved in the war, and whether those soldiers are done or not, they are at least still involved, right? And the civilians have no part in that and shouldn't be involved.
To work?
That's a tough one, though. That one sucks. That one is hard to come to a conclusion on. Expose the double agent. An unknown traitor is lurking in Liliana's closest circle of spies, and she must set a subtle trap to catch the double agent. The planning will take considerable patience, but the Inquisition must purge this enemy spy from its ranks. We must move carefully. This traitor is a master of the craft, to escape my detection for so long. And we'll get Liliana to solve whatever's going on there. That was her spy butcher. He ended up dying. Do you have any master? What are you? Inquisitor. Here's an interesting thing. Among the various things we found at Caer Brannock that belonged to its former mercenary inhabitants was a journal, and in it I found mention of several high-placed clerks in the Imperial Accounting House who are, shall we say, known for their loose tongues. They sell what they know to mercenaries seeking to outbid others for work, but should we dispatch agents to speak with them, it would take very little pressure to have them work exclusively for us. The agents would need to remain to watch over our new friends, but I've been trying to place eyes on these positions for years, Liliana. With your permission, I'll send agents to secure these men straight away. That sounds like a good idea. Especially if something Liliana's been trying to do for a while. Locate the missing Seekers. For a time, finding the missing Seekers seemed to be impossible. Early indications pointed to these men and women heading, one at a time, into Ferelden. But here their trail went cold. A chance rumor regarding Ban Loren, a Ferelden nobleman who had not been heard from for months, led Inquisition agents to investigate Caer Oswin, and they too went silent. These events are connected, and it seems this is where the missing Seekers will be found. Then let's go to Caer Oswin. We have a location. Go see what happened to the Seekers, and more specifically the Lord Seeker. Like we read last time, envy demons don't kill their mark, they cage them, so they can continue to learn from them while they impersonate them. So, that means Lord Seeker Lucius is either in a cage somewhere and can be brought back in order to help out with everything that's going on here, or he's free somewhere and is complicit. Either way, there's going to need to be a decision made about that. So, promise of destruction. Cassandra has reason to believe that Corypheus is behind the disappearance of the Seekers of Truth, but she requires help to prove it. Let's go ahead and travel to Caer Oswin. Of course, Cassandra is coming along. We'll take Dorian, and then we'll sink in Solus. We'll use our new party makeup for a couple episodes. See how we get on with it. See how we like it. In theory, it's pretty strong with the constant debuffing going on, but we'll see. We'll see how much of a chunk we can take out of them. Not only that, but Seekers are pretty much among the best warriors in Thedas. Grey Wardens could probably give them a run for their money, but Seekers are immune to possession. They can control the lyrium in people's blood. They have innate traits like setting the lyrium in somebody's blood on fire to kill them, to interrogate.
Might simply be a victim as well.
Let's see what lies within.
And of course, they basically can do every single thing that a Templar can do, times 100, plus unique traits and the best training money can buy. So whatever is going on here wasn't easy to achieve by Corypheus. It didn't come free. There's a reason why they're so feared and respected. There's a reason why nobody has been giving Cassandra much attitude. I mean, look at how much of a badass she is, right? And she's not even the strongest Seeker. Barak wasn't giving her much lift in Dragon Age 2. He didn't tell her just to piss off. You can imagine if any old Templar was asking the things of him that she was asking, he would have just told him to kick rocks. Let's find out the truth of this. Promises foot soldier. What is a promiser? And why did he try to immediately run from me like a coward? Slowed in my trap. Now we can just start bombing the hell out of them. Yep, beautiful. And that's that. Yeah, that's walking bomb for you right there.
Promises. I should have known. The Order of Fiery Promise is a cult with strange beliefs about the Seekers. They've hounded us for centuries.
What strange beliefs?
What kind of strange beliefs?
They believe they are Seekers, the only rightful ones. They say we robbed their powers long ago, preventing them from ending the world.
Ending the world?
The only way to truly eradicate evil in their eyes, the world will be reborn a paradise. It's all nonsense.
So the world is too far gone, time to kill everybody and start again.
Why haven't the Seekers dealt with them?
We have, many times. They simply reappear after a time like weeds. Nobody knows how.
Cultists. Why am I not surprised?
This explains why the Seekers might be here, but not the connection to Corypheus.
Well, of course, it's the end of the world, right? All the cults are gonna pop up like ticks from the woodwork. Actually, I didn't miss anything. Prime time for cults at the end of the world. Grab whatever power they can or nudge it along in any direction they like. Like if they seek the end of the world, what better time to come lock up some Seekers and mess with the Inquisition, right? And make sure you can guarantee the L. The kind of nihilistic bullshit attitude of, well, it's all just too far gone, so everybody should just die. Always the incorrect answer. There's no version of reality where that is ever correct. It's because the Seekers as an institution might be too far gone. And the Chantry and the Mage Circle and all that stuff. That isn't everything the world has to offer, and it's not even close to the most important thing the world has to offer.
A Seeker. Did they torture him to death? The Promisers will pay for this.
You would imagine that the Seekers aren't too big of an organization so that they wouldn't know each other. I'm sure she knows who that Seeker was. One way or another. Enjoy. Goodbye. God, walking bomb hits hard. Cassandra, you are not really doing a job right now for me, are you? I'm not sure which one decided to smoke my mages, but somebody did. Enjoy the slow mechanic. Get my boys back up here. He got hit with fear. He's trying to run away. Nuh-uh. Looks like he should get slowed. Forward. That should be the death of him.
As the Seekers of Truth have proven resistant to the effects of red lyrium, the Elder One has seen fit to place them in your care. Reclaim your destiny, and know that the Elder One expects your devotion as repayment. Signed by Magister Calpurnia, leader of the Venatori. Does Corypheus not realize the Promisers want the world to end? What use are they to him?
Well, it doesn't mean that he can't. He doesn't mean he has to let them, right? He wants to control the world and he needs the Seekers to be gone to do it, then just you get these guys to kill him and then you kill them after the fact.
Corypheus will probably betray them before they get their chance.
But after he gets what he needs out of them.
Correct.
But this doesn't explain how he captured the Seekers in the first place, or what's been done with them. We must keep looking.
Well, he clearly tried to corrupt them with red lyrium first. Speaking of going top down in the Templar Order, I guess he started with them, but they were incorruptible.
The letter said Seekers were resistant to red lyrium.
Our abilities grant us many gifts, but a resistance to red lyrium's corruption? That seems strange. Although it would explain why none have numbered among the Red Templars. And thus Seekers would be useless to Corypheus. he would have no leash to hold us.
You sound worried.
I am. The Seekers are my family.
Couldn't have hit the nail on the head harder. It's kind of... After her brother died, she felt like she lost her family in Navarra, right? And then she joined the Seekers from there. So they've been her family ever since she lost her actual family. And again, she probably knows most of these people super personally. She knew Lord Seeker Lambert, and she also knows Lord Seeker Lucius, right? She knew all about their personalities and if they were prone to grandstanding, if they were kind-hearted, if they were mean-spirited. She didn't know everything about their personality types. Did we miss anything around in this courtyard? Check the ball over here too. There might be a codex or a letter somewhere being cheeky. I think I need to improve Cassandra's ability to hold aggro, because I've noticed that ever since I switched out Vivian, my mages are taking quite a lot of damage. I don't know if I just need to micromanage them a little bit harder, or maybe it's because Dorian is spamming so many abilities that it's kind of just creating more threat generation than Cassandra, which I guess is possible. Take a look at her tactics here in a second. We'll see if we can fix that for the next fight. For as much as I'm still breezing through the combat, I don't like that I keep losing people. Let's take a look at that now. Cassandra, tactics. Challenge, that's preferred. Prefer challenge too. She can spam it. Give extract, shield bash, and spell put. It should be okay. What are your behaviors? Okay, I'm gonna have her do whatever she wants. Like I have Blackwall do, because Blackwall does hold aggro very well. They're all slowed, we shoot explosive shot. Center the battlefield up. Reposition real quick. Oh me, my, oh my. Let's take a look. You know what it is too? It's since I gave the enemies of the Inquisition unique traits, they're also just immune to opponent challenge too. That's what's going on with this guy right here, the Promising Knight. He can't be taunted, he's immune to it, so unless she does everything she can to threat generate, he's always gonna re-aggro back to me because I'm doing more damage. That's part of the problem here too, I think. Suck on that. Shield bash that, bitch. Yeah, the damage is good. It's mainly that they're immune to taunt, I think. Making things so chaotic. Every now and then we get a souped up enemy that can't be taunted, and so he just does what he wants on the battlefield. It's okay. I can just micromanage her a little harder. I'll get her to shield bash when that stuff happens, knock them off their feet. The Order of Fiery Promise. Consider the time in which the original Inquisition existed. The First Blight had devastated the world, tearing down the mighty Tevinter Imperium, and leaving nothing in its place. Just as there were several cults of Andraste vying to become the true inheritor of the Prophet's faith, there was more than one group claiming to represent the one true path to deliver the world from chaos. The Order of Fiery Promise was one of these, a band of men and women who decreed that not only was the end of the world nigh, it was necessary. Thedas must be cleansed with fire and reborn as a paradise. This they solemnly promised. They devoted themselves utterly to seeing this come about. Whether they ever drew close to their goal is unknown. The Inquisition eventually crushed these promises during a battle recorded only as the Cleansing of Cherno. The cult reappeared in the early Divine Age, claiming to take up the Inquisition's mantle after it had transformed into the Seekers of Truth, leading to chantry hunts that did not see the promises eliminated again until the Exalted Age. Yeah, so it's just a doomsday cult. They think the world is so far gone that the whole thing just needs to explode and be reset. That is a Ferelden throne if I've ever seen it. Even Mabari armrests. But yeah, as for what Corypheus is doing with them, I think it's common sense, right? He started at the top of the Templar Order, and the very tip-top of the Templar Order would be the Seekers. They do as they're told, which is why he got lucky that he managed to impersonate Lucius with a envy demon. So I guess his initial plan, instead of relying on a demon, was probably to just corrupt them all with red lyrium, right? But it turned out that they couldn't be corrupted with red lyrium, and so he just said, screw it, I'll get a demon to impersonate him, and I'll do it that way. Same ends achieved, just not as much control. I would have been surprised if the envy demon wouldn't have made a play sooner or later. But again, would have become envious of Corypheus too, right?
Can you hear me?
Cassandra. It is you. You're alive.
As are you. I'm so glad I found you.
Daniel doesn't look great.
No, they put a demon inside me. It's tearing me up.
What? You can't be possessed. That's impossible.
I'm not possessed. They fed me things. I can feel it growing.
They put an actual demon inside. What do you mean they fed you things? Can't be red lyrium. Because they had immunity to that. What the hell did they put in him?
What could they hope to gain from this?
Our powers, revenge, who knows?
The Lord Seeker. You have to find him.
Of course we'll find him. If he lives, we'll...
Lucius betrayed us, Cassandra. He sent us here, one by one. An important mission, he said. Lies. He was here with them all along. He's still working with them.
The envy demon or the actual Lord Seeker?
Could it have been the demon from Therenfall?
No. The demon came later.
But a demon couldn't simply take his place without anyone noticing.
The Lord Seeker allowed it. He let the demon take command while he...
Came here.
So he's a rat, and a snake, and just about the worst scumbag currently alive in Thedas.
If we find the Lord Seeker, he's dead.
Wait,
Responsible for all of this.
don't leave me like this, please.
You should have come with me. You didn't believe in the war any more than I did.
You know me. I wanted that promotion.
Go to the Maker's side, Daniel. You will be welcome. He was my apprentice. I have never known a finer young man. Now we find Lord Seeker Lucius.
That is most certainly wrath that you hear in her voice. You just had to off her apprentice. I have no idea what the Lord Seeker's motivations could be for doing that. But either way, it doesn't matter what his reasons are. It doesn't matter what bullshit excuse he has in his mind. He dies. There's no redeeming that. Everything that happened with the entire Templar Order is because of him. He probably had something. He probably knew all along, right? Even since the conclave. Sent the ones that were amenable to peace there, and all the ones that weren't. He brought the Seekers here to corrupt or kill them, get them out of the way, so they could corrupt the rest of the Templar Order and have them all work for Corypheus. Whatever his reasons in his stupid mind are for that, it's irrelevant. He's wrong, and he will pay a price for that. Doesn't matter how he justifies that to himself, ultimately. Whatever justification he has in his mind for it, it's horseshit. We're gonna jump in here. We're gonna put that down. Get our invisibility back. This archer before he's a problem for my mages. There we go. We managed this fight much better. Yeah, for as much as I've said the Chantry's organizations can be fixed and agreed with Cassandra about them being fixed, the Seekers I'm not so sure about. It's not the Seekers' fault that they had a snake, but at this point, I mean, maybe it's just better to off the Lord Seeker and move on, reestablish them as Templars or something, you know? And we'll learn even more about the Seekers eventually. There's going to be some things we learn about tranquility here as well, after this mission.
Lord Seeker Lucius.
Cassandra, with a man I can only assume is the new Inquisitor.
You must be very proud of your handiwork.
I presume you know we Seekers of Truth were once the original Inquisition.
Hope you're not trying to find some
yes.
common ground.
We fought to restore order in a time of madness long ago, as you do now. And we became proud. We sought to remake the world, to make it better. But what did we create? The Chantry, the Circles of Magi. A war that will see no end.
And so you decide to join a demon and a darkspawn magister that's going to destroy the world. Genius.
You lured your entire order to their deaths.
There was no other choice.
Oh shit.
No other choice? Have you gone mad?
We Seekers are abominations, Cassandra. We created a decaying world and fought to preserve it even as it crumbled. We had to be stopped.
Why didn't you just go ahead and jump off a cliff then?
See for yourself.
Why bother with all this?
The secrets of our order passed to me after the former Lord Seeker was slain. The war with the mages had already begun, but it was not too late for me to do the right thing.
The right thing? By pulling his entire order one by one to be corrupted and murdered from the inside by demons. Did you happen to speak to the Seeker outside while he was suffering and being slowly tortured to death? That's the right thing. This order, and him in particular, are supposed to be everything that a Templar and somebody pious and respectable would aspire to be. And this is what he does with the seed of that power. He gets his little mystery book and then decides that the world has to end, and he has to do it in just about the scummiest way possible. Fuck this guy.
And this was the right thing?
Lord Seeker, what you've done.
I know. What Corypheus did with the Templars does not matter. I have seen the future. I have created a new order to replace the old. The world will end so we can start anew. A pure beginning. Join us, Cassandra. It is the Maker's will.
Fool and a psychopath. Archers first. Get that. And rest in peace, scumbag.
He was insane. He had to be. Perhaps the Envy Demon's influence? Remove the Lord Seeker so it could take over the Templars.
All these wasted lives.
He could not have destroyed all of us. I won't accept it. Let us return to Skyhold. I wish to see what's in this book of secrets.
Yeah, I would too. Everything about him is reprehensible to just about the highest order. And the goal of him to ask her to join at the end too, after he confesses that he killed like everybody, her apprentice, like everything, that he had his finger on the pulse of this the whole time and chose to do it anyway, and then he thinks that she's stupid enough to be like, you know what, you're right, I'll join the dark side. Nonsense. And Corypheus wouldn't have let his new order to Outlast establish, whatever he thinks that is. Whether he thinks that that's the Templar or the Red Templars that's going to replace the old and become whatever he wanted in the New World. Like, none of that is fact. Corypheus doesn't give a shit about the Templars. He's a Magister. The Templars will be discarded as soon as he gets what he wants, because at the end of the day, he's a mage, and he's going to be the god of everything, right? He doesn't need Templars. And his homeland believes in everything that is the antithesis of the Templar Order, so he created nothing. He would have gotten nothing, and he would have been passed aside like a peace pipe as soon as Corypheus got what he wanted. Just a fool. It happened to be a fool that had a lot of power, so he was able to do a lot of damage. But he's in the ground now. And if this were me, I would immediately tell every single person in the Templar Order about that. Because that absolves them of a lot of their sins, too. Because that asshole is the one that sold them out and made it all happen. His fault.
This tome has passed from Lord Seeker to Lord Seeker, since the time of the old Inquisition. And now it falls to me.
Are you all right? You look drained.
On the contrary, it's a delight. I'm riveted.
Oh, you're joking.
Do you know what the Rite of Tranquility is? The last resort used on mages in the Circle, leaving them unable to cast, but depriving them of dreams and all emotion. It should only be used on those who cannot control their abilities, but that has not always been the case.
It started being used as a punishment and a threat, instead of what it should actually be.
Does the book say it was used for other things?
No. As a seeker, I looked into abuses. Mages made tranquil as punishment. What finally began the Mage Rebellion was the discovery the Rite of Tranquility could be reversed. The Lord Seeker at the time covered it up, harshly. There were deaths. It was dangerous knowledge, the shock of its discovery in addition to what happened in Kirkwall. But it appears we've always known how to reverse the rite, from the beginning.
Not only that, I mean, this is new information, and that I can certainly understand why it would anger a ton of the mages to find that out, but it's not just that, it's the multiple attempts on the Divine, it's the Grand Cathedral exploding in Kirkwall. There's a lot of different things there, but I'm sure they're split apart in it, and it's predictable, right, that the Lord Seeker at the time would just slaughter everybody who found that out. But the fact that tranquility is reversible in itself makes the act much more disgusting, because the amount of tranquil that have become convenient labor slaves for circles and Templars is reprehensible. And the fact that the whole time, at least the Seekers knew that they could reverse it, makes you wonder why they kept them tranquil, right? And what their motivations for that were. I think it's self-evident what a lot of that was, but...
That doesn't surprise me at all.
We created the Rite of Tranquility. I told you of my vigil, the months I spent emptying myself of all emotion. I was made tranquil and didn't even know. Then the vigil summoned the spirit of faith to touch my mind. That broke tranquility, and gave me my abilities. The Seekers did not share that secret. Not with me, not with the Chantry, not even with...
Justinia.
There's more. Lucius was not wrong about the Order. I thought to rebuild the Seekers once victory was ours. Now I'm not certain it deserves to be rebuilt.
I think ultimately the idea of the Seekers is a good thing, because you do need internal affairs in organizations like the Templars. They lost their way like every other faction in Thedas currently. The Chantry lost their way, the Templars lost their way, the Mages lost their way, the Circles, the Divine, and even the Seekers. Everybody has lost their way. That doesn't mean that it can never find their way again, or that it should be abandoned.
You said there was more in the book.
At some point, power becomes its own master. We cast aside ideals in favor of expedience, and tell ourselves it was all necessary for the people. Will that happen to us, Inquisitor? Will we repeat history?
No.
No, we're nothing like the Seekers.
I wonder how much we resemble what they used to be.
I don't think I've ever seen you so shaken.
The
I do
Seekers
not
weren't
think
like the Seekers
have been
initially.
doing the Maker's work. Not truly. Perhaps we believed it once. The original Inquisition came to be during a terrible time.
And then they stepped
But
aside.
now, we harbored secrets and let them fester. We acted to survive, but not to serve. That is not the Maker's work.
Well, what would you do if you were to rebuild?
If you did rebuild the Seekers, how would you do it?
I can't be the only one remaining. We will always spread to the winds, and some may still be out there. I would find them one by one. We would all read this book. No more secrets. Then together we would establish a new charter. The Maker's work in truth.
And that sounds like a very good idea to me. Were it not for Cassandra, I would burn the whole thing to the ground, but rebuilding that in spite of everything, it sounds like a great idea. If we just destroy it all and turn it all over, the promises will be back one day. That kind of just lets Lucius win, right? If the Seekers serve the purpose they're supposed to, it is a good organization that I think honestly it needs. If we're going to keep the Templars and the Chantry, then we also need to keep the Seekers, because we need somebody that's above it all that can police that situation.
If anyone can rebuild them into something worthwhile, you can.
But are they worth rebuilding?
You could make them worth it.
I will think on your words. Thank you. I could not have done this on my own.
I'm just glad you didn't get summoned to the keep. Or maybe she did. Makes you wonder, right? Maybe she did get summoned to the keep and she just never answered because she was too busy with Justinia and the Inquisition. It's not like she, it's not like she had spare time to go visit. Maybe she was invited. And she would have ended up like her apprentice if she had answered the call. Anyways, we have been going a while, so that is where I'm going to wrap this one on up. Thank you for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and a comment on your way out, and I will see you soon with more Dragon Age Inquisition. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.